What's up, guys? We are going into Shogun of Unknown Origin for rank 1 clear. I'll just say up front, there are, time-limited units, time-limited gear, and this is a pretty tight clear. It's not a slam dunk, but if if you have the units and the gear and you're having trouble with other clears, maybe this is for you, and you have the patience for a little, playing with variants. I know out of I think I've run through this rotation like maybe 3 or 4 times. One time out of all those, I was able to actually kill within 10 turns. That's what got me the rank 1. The other times it came up a little shy. It was like 2 or 3% health left, and I just finished it off on turn 11. But so if you can play with the variants a little bit, if you have the patience for that, then maybe this will work. But here's the party we used. Just to show it. Cleum, honestly, well, she's here for Demon Killer. The boss is a Demon Human. Mostly does non-elemental magic. There are 2 turns where it does physical with some elemental, but Melissa is going to imbue the boss with dark, and then we absorb dark on those turns. So I'm kind of noodling around some alternate clears. Since I pulled the new Ibara, I want to do a leader skill showcase, and given EX levels, I may end up having to take Snow and drop Melissa, so he could tank the physical, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. But for now, we'll just go with this. So in general, I'm not a huge fan of this boss with the mitigations it puts up and the nerf to physical damage dealers, especially in phase 2. Having permanent human mitigation is just kind of a joke. There aren't a whole lot of units in the game that can bypass this that aren't physical damage dealers. I guess a limited time, either the new Ibara, old Ibara. I don't think Chow would be a viable option. What's her name? Lillith, the newer limited NV Lillith. And then, you have the near units, but they're physical damage dealers, so that's kind of a nerf to them. So I haven't really hard pursued a clear with them. But anyway, so looking at the party, we do have Ibara on Diablos. We're not getting a good Dark Imperil before the burst turn, so she's just using Imperil from Diablos. We are doing fire damage with Tsukiko and a mix of fire and dark with Cleom, so we're getting a decent fire Imperil for them, but everyone else, the damage is kind of nerfed a little bit just because we don't have a good Imperil. If you had new Axe Stars TMR, you could throw that on someone, working a better Dark Imperil from that. But anyway, we'll look at the units. But yeah, damage is pretty tight. Morale's pretty tight. All around, it's just kind of a headache. So, Tsukiko, base form, some morale fill. Gear, the cow gear for morale fill. More of all that. Pretty typical stuff. Her Ayaka Banner Vision card for the Store Magic ability. If you don't have that, you could always just swap in Store Magic in one of these slots. There's only one turn where she's storing magic, so. Then Shift Form, just max Esper and Evo damage. Chain Cap Accelerator from Spear's Ray of Light. So there's all that. Olive, built for max LB against Demon and Human. So again, limited materia there. And Cleom's Vision card, just for some morale fill and high magic. I think it has some killers on it, maybe. Nah, just some LB damage. But so there's her build. Got Wilk's card on Melissa, dual wielding. She's passive provoke. I forget if I ended up building her evasion. Yeah, full evasion. Not sure that's necessary, but so there's that. And Magi Sherm from who is that? Johanna. Yeah, Johanna's SCMR for Demon Killer on Ibara on one of the later turns. Some MP cost reduction. So there we go. Abigail, just high bulk. The only elemental damage is the physical stuff, and we're absorbing it, so the resistances really don't matter. Just high spirit. She does need Eye of the Dragon, though, for chaining with Cleom and Olive. And she has Melissa's vision card for some morale fill. Anything else worth noting there? Just did try to give her some killers. She is chaining, so every little bit helps. Cleom, her own vision card, base form, max LB against Demon and Human. So there's that. And ended up giving her kind of secondary gear, even though she's the only member on the party with the 150 amp. She only gets really one good burst turn. And that's just because she's only storing magic on that one burst turn. Whereas Olive, I tried to prioritize her a little higher. She's getting, more burst turns with stored magic. So I think overall, Olive's probably doing more damage. So kind of went in on Olive instead of Cleom. Then shift form, morale fill from the Treasured Memorial Ring. And yeah, otherwise built for damage. Just kind of wanted to get whatever little chip damage in from her that I could. And the way the party's set up now and the actions we're taking, we do get enough morale. So I didn't need more morale fill on Cleom in the shift form. Kind of prioritize damage over morale fill, aside from the Memorial Ring. So there's that. Ibara, base form, the Emperor's Celestite Rod, Irene's Ring. She has Darkra equipped. She's going to be chaining in the latter half after she's stuck back in the base form. Magic Boost, dual cast. She needs to dual cast Imperil and Darkra on the first turn. So there's that. And then shift form, 2 double hand build. You could also go with the newer Sakura's Rod. I think it gives pretty much same stats, some LB damage and Demon Killer. Yeah, 100% LB damage and 75 Demon Killer. And we're getting a Rod Imperil from Tsukiko. So other weapon types just really didn't work out as well on her. So this seems to be the best, but we are using, that vision card. And then just more 2 double hand build against demons and humans. So max magic, demon and human, and max LB. And this is the, original Ibara. And yeah, that's it. So I'll go ahead and cut the video here. I'm trying to think if there are any other espers that are important to note. Trying to remember why I would have put Ramu on Abigail. Can't think of a good reason for her to be on Ramu. Oh, I think he does have some killers, some magic demon killer, so that's probably why. Other than that, yeah, no, that's about it. So, all right, I'll be back in a second. We'll jump into the fight. So, be right back. All right, guys, we are gonna go in here and turn all the modifiers on. And need to make a small change. Yeah, I'm getting frustrated. I mean, I can make a guide video easily enough, but it wouldn't be showing a rank 1 clear with this team, and I want to make a, rank 1 guide or video, so, with this team. So, I tried one gear swap on Ibara, but it didn't pan out, so otherwise gearing's the same on everyone. So nothing's changed since, 4 hours ago when I started dicking around with this. But anyway, I do want to call out that Tsukiko is is in the first party order slot, and Cleom's starting in the shift form. So we'll get into this. Hopefully this works out. I kind of made a mistake with one of Cleom's skills. I should have been using it earlier than I was. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So anyway, so yeah, got hit with the gravity attack and reduced healing. So we're going to fix that with Melissa. Hastened recovery, chronic flow, and just a killer on whoever. Olive, every turn is just, for the first 3 turns, is just going to do the same thing for morale fill. So both of her splash skills, her killers, and then end with the store ability. Tsukiko is going to Rod Imperil, mitigation, and then Fire Imperil field. Ibara is going to dual cast Imperil from an Esper and Darkra. And I'd say if you have Axars, STMR or TMR, whatever it is, just put that on Abigail and use that on turn 3. But anyway, so Abigail this turn is going to put up her barrier, contingency plan. She's going to put up Shelga and then Kiraga. And Cleom this turn is going to Blood Red Performance, Prodigious Protection, and Slayer Symphony. Okay. So I guess we are doing just pretty much straight dark damage with Cleom here. Anyway, yeah, so turn 2. Melissa is going to give us our Dark Amp, which is going to get rid of any imbue that Cleom put on herself. So, but anyway, so Dark Amp, Man-Eater over to whoever, and then Minutes of Might from Melissa. Olive's going to reload. Ibara can store magic. Tsukiko can shift. And she is going to unlock her Magnus, her fire one. Abigail can put up cover and then just do her breaks. And Cleom is going to shift it RB. Ibara is just going to store magic again. Tsukiko is going to go to the base form and store magic. Olive can reload. Melissa can uncontrollable darkness to imbue the boss with dark and absorb dark. Man-Eater over to Ibara. And just in Darkra to keep a rolling, keep that dark imbue alive. Abigail is going to cover just for some morale fill and then punch a couple times. And then Cleum is going to Scarlet Sharp Note and then punch a couple times. So we're not quite topped off on morale, but it should be fine. So Ibara is going to shift and LB. Olive's going to SLB. Abigail's going to triple bolting strike. Cleum's going to base form LB. And Tsukiko's going to shift eventually. And do her Magnus. Melissa's going to SLB on herself. Yeah. So we will activate our defense buff or attack buff. So we're going to send Olive and Cleum, then Ibara right after them, and then Abigail and Tsukiko right after her. Okay, so barely a cap there. Okay, so Ibara is just going to LB again this turn. Cleum's going to triple bolting strike. Tsukiko is going to triple bolting strike. Abigail this turn is going to refresh her cover. And then just do whatever. Shogun Protectica, I guess. Actually, I guess for that matter, she can chip into the damage. We'll just bolting strike twice and then refresh cover with her. Trying to think, is there some other turn where we're getting Shelga? No, we do need a refresh Shelga. So, yeah, just cover and then Shelga and Protectica. Olive can just cap, so we'll break, killer, store, cap. And Melissa this turn can give killers over to Ibara, or Maneat over to Ibara. Cast All-Consuming Darkness, just to prevent the boss from healing back to full. And whatever else. Parasol Shield. Yeah. So we'll send Olive, wait a second or two, and then send Ibara, and then Cleon and Tsukiko right after. Guess we should have done that first. But anyway, so now it heals back up. If we didn't use All-Consuming Darkness, it would have healed the full there. But the boss did cure all its debuffs, and then we need to re-imperil and whatnot. So Cleum is just going to Blood Red Performance again and Gallant Crescendo. Ibara can Weakening Appeal and then Void Entity. Tsukiko can... What is Tsukiko doing this turn? Oh, yeah. Rod and Peril and then Bolting Strike twice. Abigail this turn just needs to re-break the boss. So anti-physical and magic, and then just refresh her barrier. Olive is just going to do a fire cap this turn. So Guardian, Melons, Store, cap, and then end with Fire Cannon Fire for her SLB next turn. And we're going to wait on Melissa. So activate our offensive skills. So we'll send Olive, wait just a second, and then send everyone else. Okay, so Melissa this turn can, what are we doing? Refresh Maneater over to Ibara. You do Abyssal Blessing. And then Minutes of Might. Yeah. So Ibara is going to LB. Olive is going to SLB. Abigail is going to chain Extreme Nova from the Materia. Cleom is just going to triple Bolting Strike. And Tsukiko is going to do her Magnus. And Melissa this turn is going to give Demon Killer over to Ibara from Ihana's STMR. So activate all that. So we're going to wait a little longer to send the Bolting Strike Chainers just because Tsukiko's, well, just because Olive's damage in this phase is, actually, nah. We'll just stick with basically the same timing we had before. So we'll do Olive and Abigail, send Ibara right after, wait a sec, send Cleom and Tsukiko. Okay, so this turn we're going to EN chain again with Abigail. Cleom is going to do the shifted LB for an LB mod. Melissa is going to give Maneater over to Ibara. Seconds of support over to Ibara, and then Curse Control. So Ibara can LB, Olive can just do her normal cap. So break, break, killer, store, cap. And Tsukiko can triple Bolting Strike. So we'll send Olive, wait a couple seconds, send Ibara, then send pretty much everyone else. We'll click Tsukiko just a second later, after Abigail and Cleom. Okay, so pretty sure this is a good variance roll. Yeah. Normally I end up around like 25% there, so I think we might get that rank 1 video that I was hoping for. So anyway, there is some pretty heavy incoming magic damage this turn. Well, first we need to fix our reduced healing. with Melissa. So Haitian recovery from Melissa. Give Maneater over to Olive this turn. And just heal some. So Abigail this turn is going to heal. She's going to put up Shelga and then do her Omni cover just for the better mitigation. Kiko can just chain it up. Yeah, we can go ahead and do her Magnus. It's still broken by 90%. So I'll do all the big buffs here. Do some healing, some mitigation. Ibara this turn can triple Bolting Strike, triple Darkra, and then just drain as the last action. And Cleum this turn can just triple Bolting Strike. And Olive can do a cap with ending with her big store ability for her SLB next turn. So send Olive, wait a second, and then send everyone else. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have an LB buff for Olive and Cleum this turn, but, I mean, it should be fine. I mean, most of the damage is coming from Tsukiko at this point, so activate our attack and magic. Abigail can just triple Bolting Strike. Olive can SLB. Cleum can base form LB. Melissa can give Maneater over to Cleum and just whatever else. Just Darkra a couple times. And Tsukiko can triple Bolting Strike. And we'll go ahead and with Ibara. We'll just quad Bolting Strike with her. We can send her with Olive and Cleum. Just kind of get the chain built. So we'll just send Melissa and Ibara, then send Olive and Cleum right after them, and then top row last. Okay, there we go. I swear if there's something about this that wasn't rank 1. All right, so there we go, rank 1. No new Ibara, no Lillith. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, Tsukiko did do a decent chunk of damage. So, I mean, if you're struggling, maybe consider taking Tsukiko up, you know, to like level 130 or even 125. I mean, that would, you know, I think that little bit would help just push the clear over the edge if you're coming up just a little short on the damage cap, or, you know, coming out at like, you know, 5% on the burst turn. Because, I mean, really in phase 2 between turns, what? We go into phase 2 when on turn 6. So, I mean, she's bursting, yeah, literally every turn. I mean, she does her Rod in Peril and then chains a couple times on turn 6. But after that, she's just, you know, nothing but bursting every turn. Or trying to, if you want to call it burst, but she's doing damage every turn. So just that incremental increase in her damage from a few, over levels might be enough to get it clear if you're coming up shy, or get the, turn 10 clear if you're coming up a little shy on damage by turn 10. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped. Now to do a more fun dark team with leader skills. So, later.